positivity, negativity. Think positive thoughts, things could be worse. Even when the rear end's dropping out your world. Good vibes only, sunshine. Don't be a miserable son of a bitch.
I don't wanna dress up for you and be a toy. I'm not that girl. No, I'm not that girl. Put your feelings aside. Give that wild shot a try. I'm not that girl.
G'day, I'm Sharon candidly rolling out my weekly dose of real lifeness. If you want a non-sugar-coated take on why I think too much positivity can incite negativity, then buckle up and hold on tight. This video is coming from my own experience and perspective, not a professional viewpoint. For most of us, having a positive outlook on life and all it encumbers is a more ideal notion than looking at things with negativity. Sure, looking at things through rose-colored glasses may make things seem more promising, but it's not a true reflection of what's before us. Of course, we all most likely know a few that seemingly always see things through black colored glasses too. A defeatist attitude no matter how good they appear to have it. Just as we probably know those that are seemingly forever optimistic and looking to the good. But when can that positivity be overwhelming and somehow feel degrading of our right to deliver anything other than good vibes? Those shiny, happy people that for every one of our troubles pulls out their fucking magic wand. And with a bibbity-bobbity-boo assume our woes, big and small, will dissipate in a flash. Forever preaching positivity, forbidding bleakness, even when we feel like the arse is falling out our world. Sure, we sometimes all take that approach when we are sick to the back teeth with the habitual pessimistic souls roaming amongst us. Those with a problem for every solution and glass half full attitudes. Is it unreasonable for anyone to have a one-size-fits-all approach to despair, stress, and frustrations? Sometimes even those of us whose preference is an upbeat outlook. The best we can give is a half full glass, and the fact there's anything in that bloody glass at all should be enough. Enough until we've worked through those emotions, processed, and then have enough of what's necessary to refill our cup. Some days life knocks us hard. And as hard as we try to keep the faith, there are times as humans we simply feel defeated. Totally hopeless and emotionally spent. We don't want to be told to keep our chin up, to not let things get the better of us. Because sometimes we've given the best of us, given our all, and we ain't got nothing left. We want someone to hear us, to empathize, to offer a friendly ear. Allow us time to process, to heal. Of course, there is nothing wrong in hoping for another to be freed from their internal tribulations by wishing them enthusiastic hope. These well-meaning responses are most likely coming from a place of good, but can at times appear ignorant to another's suffering and angst. The right to feel what they feel. Toxic positivity is the denial to acknowledge any negative. Even when the storms have so obviously left someone in darkness, it's expected they must focus on the light that comes after the darkness, without any allowance for what may be needed to first navigate their way through that darkness. When one is in refusal of the actuality of another's problems. Out of place positivity is like spreading confetti in the sewer and expecting it not to stink. For when one is wading through life's shitstorms, no amount of prettying it up will help them come out clean. The choice to ignore everything problematic or painful by turning a blind eye to the brewing chaos. When we open ourselves up and share with others those things troubling our soul, only to be met with, all will be fine, look to the positives, she'll be apples. Willing and about face to our unhappiness with a few mind-numbing positive affirmations. When our insides are dying a slow death is not helping but can be very much harming. When one imposes their toxic positivity upon us when it seems ill-fitting, refuses allowance for us to talk it out, to think or feel anything negative with insisted focus on happy thoughts. Our problems, our concerns, and worries seem completely, utterly declined. When we ourselves feign happiness and suppress our true feelings, we are projecting a faux image of positivity and are being rather toxic to ourselves. When we bury our head in the sand of the realities circling us and choose to live in denial, rather than fronting up to and being real about them, inauthentically blocking our emotions, whether to save face or inability to confront the matter at hand. Positivity isn't the problem. It's the mask of optimism in denial of factual reality. Can toxic positivity be detrimental to relationships? Does it undermine someone's right to be in the moment with their pain? Does it remove trust and comfortability from the connection when there is a disconnect? When one must suppress how they feel to be more aligned with pleasing the other and avoiding ridicule? So when do the good vibes incantations border on shaming, invalidating, and being condescending? Because in my experience, I'm guessing some days we would rather they shove their good vibe chants right up their ass. Some days we just want to cradle our woes for a while before releasing them to the wind. Dismissiveness could ultimately be the destruction and even end to lives. It's toxic when we are coerced or guilted into just dealing. Whatever will be, que sera, sera. Sadness does not come without its purpose or place for us as humans. Toxic positivity is artificial to real life, an unreal way of being. Out of place optimism can be destructive when it detaches one from all that is genuinely felt within. And don't worry, it'll be okay. Approach is given when all is clearly far from okay. Toxic negativity can definitely be ruinous for people too, as it can send one into an unnecessary rabbit hole of despair. And when on the receiving end of one's toxic negativity, woe is me persona, it can feel like a continuous drip of water on one's forehead, inciting mind-numbing, rip your hair out frustration. Though cutting someone off who is actually going through something and just needs support is unfeeling and compassionless. When someone is dealing with trauma, bereavement, stress, or pain, someone tells them they're in a much better place than they could be. How to feel better by looking on the bright side, or affirming everything happens for a reason. Yeah, perhaps it does, and that reason is allowed to fucking suck. It borders on presumptive, callous, and a tad cold-blooded. When someone is force-feeding another positivity and they are left feeling shut down rather than encouraged, belittled and dismissed, somewhat chastised for daring to yet see a break in the clouds. Though a silver lining may well be a comforting prospect during such times, so too can snuggling with allowance in due course to find the bright side. Resentment can fast build and ties can be fast severed when one's predicament and upset are not recognized for what they are, but rather seen as an opportunity to offer a self-help spiel on law of attraction. Just what we want, just what we need in our time of upset, to be coerced into believing that we unwittingly will be attracting more of the bloody same. Whilst I, for the most part, am a firm believer that we are what we think, yada yada. I also believe that the universe is a wise one and has our back when we need time to heal and recover. Too much of anything cannot be a good thing, including positivity and too positive people. For many, they most likely have no idea what toxic positivity even is. But I bet the most of us have experienced it. I'm sure we all have, and I'm sure we've all been the deliverer of it too, without much thought or consideration. When we are too positive all the time, we become inauthentic. When others try to project too much positivity onto us, it enables us to ignore our problems, leaving open the likelihood that the more we ignore them, the bigger they'll grow. The more we suppress our troubles and the emotions associated with them, the more damaging this then becomes to us. True, meaningful friendships can fast go down the drain when we feel we cannot confide without feeling shamed. That's when toxic positivity becomes the dark side of positive vibes, the negative side of positive thinking. It's toxic when it doesn't allow you to communicate and experience your organic emotions. It's toxic when you are guilted or forced into just dealing. Getting over something you are yet in a place to get over. We all deal in our own time. We all deal in our own way. This then can encourage anger and bitterness because we just all want to be understood. In a sense, it's gaslighting in disguise. As with gaslighting, toxic positivity is when one is compelled to deny one their right to their realities. No amount of motivational quotes or motivational spiels will help if we feel broken. Because we are what we feel. We either feel something or we do not. No one wants a bloody lecture on how things could be worse when at that moment we are quite possibly at our worst. Putting doubts in our mind about our emotions and our responses to our emotions. No one ever has the right to tell us how we should feel or how best we should deal. Feelings are unique to each of us, and so too will be our coping mechanisms. It's unrealistic to expect ourselves to never experience unpleasant emotions. It's toxic positivity to obscure those unpleasant emotions by covering them up with positivity. When toxic positivity is encouraged at all costs, it is of the delusional expectancy that we arrive at a place we are yet ready to be. Even the two words together are a complete contradiction, as two is presenting all calm and hopeful when one's insides are churning like tumultuous seas. Negative cannot be terminated by positive without getting to the root of the problem. One may ponder if it's even possible to have too much positivity in our life without realization that when one feels worthy, valid, and understood when in need, turns the situation into the right kind of positive. For a weekly injection of the right kind of positivity rolled in with real life realness, smash that subscribe button right now so you get your fix as soon as my videos drop. I will link my playlist in the description box below, so give them a watch too. But I must warn you, they may incite feelings of mad unstoppability. Having positivity is a wonderful advantage in life, but so too is having that listening ear, that person who will sit beside us and simply allow our emotions run free, to feel, to be real, to be who and how at that very moment we need to be.
Break out of your shell, meet me halfway.